Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Yes, my name is Savitri Malla, and I'm here on behalf of eTraining Private Limited to present this webinar. The topic is Lead Continuous Improvement. The unit code BSBMGT516 Facilitate Continuous Improvement, Session 1. So what we are looking after the end of this presentation. So you should be able to understand and should know how to develop strategies to ensure that team members are actively encouraged and supported to participate in decision-making processes, assume responsibilities, and exercise initiative as appropriate. Establish systems to ensure that the performance's continuous improvement processes are communicated to stakeholders. Ensure that change and improvement as processes meet sustainability requirement. Develop effective monitoring and coaching processes to ensure that individuals and teams are able to implement and support the organization continuous improvement. And then lastly, ensure that insights and the experiences from business activities are captured and accessible through knowledge management system. Yes, use knowledge, and I'm really excited to move further now. So here we go. So how can we continuously improve? So what is the importance of the quality? So understanding the quality is the major part. If you see, there are 4 popular continuous improvement methods, which include total quality management, lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, and the benchmarking. Okay, let me talk a little bit about the quality. Okay, so total quality control. So if you are in the business, if you are not seeking to improve what kind of quality you are providing to the customer or the suppliers or your clients, in the day, quality matters, right? People are after the quality. So quality can be defined in many ways. So it is the level of excellence or whether or not something is fit for its purpose. Quality can refer to a finished product or the process by which it was produced, isn't it? So that's why it should be always, you should be thinking about how can you continuously improve. That is the method that you can definitely continuously improve the processes, the customer satisfaction level within your company. So quality functional development, okay, development. So this is another methods that you can always use it. What kind of service quality information are you been providing? And the third one, breakthrough thinking. You have to think creative, okay? Think creative. So try, test and try. So if something is not working, or it's your customer starts coming, customers are not many, you know, the flow is getting lower or down, what you can do? Change, okay? Think it where you can improve some corner. And concept management, so make sure you are always thinking ahead, always talking about the outcomes, okay? So concept management will always focus on the outcomes, which are the customer satisfaction, always bring new customers, always premium pricing, production cost and rework. You will always stock returns and waste, means they will always think about how quality, how quality is actually affecting your sales, okay, the sales volume and etc. And the theory of constraints, okay, so the very important theory, so which will help you to actually maintain the expansion of your business. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, so talking about some of the methods, I will give these are really good information. Here we go. Deming, okay, the quality. So the look, total quality management system can be in you can break in different parts. So Deming, yeah, Crosby and Juran. So you can see the Deming has 14 programs, which is 14 steps of quality programs. Deming cycle, which is PDCA. special and common forms of variation, statistical thinking, which will include within the concept, within the program. Crosby is another type of methods that you can use to continuously improve. Also includes 13, it has actually 14 steps, 4 absolutes, cultural change, 0 defects, and the Juran is another type of total quality management process that will help 3 general steps and 10, that's called, yeah, altogether that's 13 steps in there. So collection of, this is total quality management is the collection of ideas to improve the profitability or customer satisfaction of a quality program, concepts and focus. So talking about the Deming, so Deming cycle. So Deming cycle is the process where you will do, okay? You will do step 1. I mean, starting from PDCA, so which is you will definitely plan. You need to plan first and do it, and then study. So I'd say, and then act. Okay, it can be also PDCA or PDSA, right? Also, there is more information about the Crosby cycle. And then after that, look, there's some information I can also elaborate in here. So quality, are you focusing on the customer satisfaction level in your company? Then the meeting customer expectation and organizations, you always need to be providing the quality of the products and the increasing productivity through a philosophy of embracing customer, continuous change. You need to keep changing things, otherwise people get bored, right? And then total quality management has been successfully implemented by large corporations such as Motorola and AT&T. These are the companies, the mobile companies. So why do they need to change everything? So that the customers are always continuously coming to buy the product. Okay. The 3 central figures also, Deming, Juran, and Crosby, had the most influence on the development of the aggregate of concepts and tools that make up total quality management. Okay. So we are not talking, okay, so here we go. Lean manufacturing. So there are 5 systems and 7 wastes. So what are those 5 systems? So inventory control, setup improvement, maintenance improvements, productivity improvements, and quality improvements. Okay, so the lean manufacturing may be considered as westernized version of just-in-time manufacturing, and then Kaizen. So, and then Kaizen, Japanese for continuous improvement. During the 1970s, Toyota built a culture in their plans of joint responsibility between managers and workers to reduce waste of space and materials. With the implementation of lean GIT and Kaizen, Toyota reduced car production time from 15 days to 1. Wow, that is a really good improvement, isn't it? That's called innovation. And 3 steps to lean implementation are acceptance of stays, usually involving a trained lean facilitator to lead the change and build buy-in for the continuous improvement system. Secondly, technical steers, okay, involving an event such as process mapping to identify wastes and opportunities for change. 3, sustainment stays. So it means you need to continuously improve, also retain those processes. Okay, so everyone knows what they are doing. Which includes involving the communication training and integration of the change processes into the workplace culture, the way things are done. Yes, everyone should know how the things are done. Okay, that's it. And 7 wastes, you can see there overproduction, wasting. So if you want to improve in your if you're thinking of improving continuously, you need to be very smart on the overproduction. So like for example, in the hospitality industry, so if the the manager or the leader of the team or even the supervisor or the owner of the business is not watching or monitoring the people, not observing the employees, there could be the wastage within the team, within this process, okay, production process. So, and the waiting or wastage, I mean, when people a customer has to wait a longer period of time to get the same, wait longer, it's not good as well. It's a wasting time because there is no efficiency within the production. Transportation cost is also the wastage, inventory wastage, processing inefficiency. As I already told you, this is not really good. So talking about the efficiency means it has to be in timely manner, okay? It has to be effective. And there is a loss of motion, there is no momentum going on within the team, the people are not motivated, and defects, and there is some kind of defects or the problem within the system, you need to change those. If you are thinking of improving your business, continuous improvement, that would be the best way to do that. Okay, so let's talk about the benchmarking. So benchmarking, okay, so benchmarking, okay, so as you can see, there are 4 approaches, includes internal benchmarking, external best practice benchmarking, competitive, and sector benchmarking. So internal benchmarking. So before discussing internal benchmarking, let me talk to you about the benchmarking is a systematic comparison of an organization's processes and performance in pursuit of achieving improvements and superior result. You want to get the superior result, okay, that's the benchmarking. At least this should be happen. This is the level. Out of 10, you should at least get 8, okay, that's the benchmarking. So you will set the highest level of expectation, and the benchmarking can provide organization with knowledge and insights that enable achievements, the best practice, innovative ideas, and effective operating processes. Benchmarking is an ongoing process, and since competitors are not stagnant, yes, measurement is constantly reduced so that data is up to date. You can and then we come to the internal benchmarking, which has a narrow scope, comparing processes undertaken by business functions and departments of an organization, either within one or geographic location or across multiple locations. So external best practice benchmarking. So what is this? Talking about external best practice benchmarking, it has the aim to identify best practice no matter what the sector or location. Such benchmarking is broad, okay, and for that reason has the potential for stimulating radical change. It holds out of possibility of breakthrough discoveries through comparison with world best practices. And then competitive benchmarking, which focuses on key competitors within the sector. Such benchmarking holds out the promise of being relatively easy to apply because of the similarity of issues between the business being benchmarked. All right, lastly, the sector benchmarking, which is a broader type of benchmarking that makes benchmarking data available to all in a sector. This type of benchmarking data makes it simple to identify general industry trends, but because of its non-targeted nature, difficult to derive specific recommendation for key processes improvements linked to organizational strategies. Yes, I hope it makes a little bit of sense to you. And let's go to the next, Six Sigma. Okay, so this one, it's my favorite topic, Six Sigma, okay. So what does it mean? So Six Sigma is a methodology for achieving very high quality standards in business processes and manufacturing. The Six Sigma methods is data driven and has the objectives of achieving near perfection in process performance and defects levels. So for example, define, measure, analyze, implement, and control. So here, this talking about the first type, okay, so second variation of Toyota, this information was, we already talked about it. So Six Sigma is considered the maximum level of efficiency achievable and is equivalent to only 3.4 defects per million opportunities, okay, or it's like a 99.99997% efficiency. Amazing result. So it is important to note that the Six Sigma has evolved over the last 2 decades. The emphasis has shifted into a literal definition of defects per million. Amazing result, okay. So these methods is so good to continuously improve your manufacturing, marketing, sales, and customer service, and even customer satisfaction level. So these methods focus on identifying, understanding, and managing various customers' expectation and requirement, aligning processes to meet and exceed customer expectation and requirement, systematic data collection and analyze to ensure minimum variation in processes, driving rapid and sustainable improvement to the processes. So talking about the define. So you should need to be able to define current process and objectives. What are your company's objectives and current processes is going on? How do you measure the importance of aspects of, and how do you collect your data? And how do you analyze the data to verify causes and effects? And how you'll implement the process based on finding, and how you'll control the process to ensure that variation are corrected before they result in defects. I mean, before there is a big issues come out, you control those issues and then you correct them. All right. Yes, and then develop strategies for participation. So we are talking about the continuous improvement, right? So what does it mean? So you have to develop some kind of strategies that will help you to improve continuously. Talking about the continuous improvement, look, first thing will be the interpersonal skill. Okay, you need to develop those skills. What are the interpersonal skills? So communicating verbally and non-verbally, active listening, team problem solving, negotiating, advocating and asserting values, group decision making, and what is a build participative culture. So secure management commitment, values measures, and reward participation. So for example, if you have a team, so you want to improve leadership skill within your team. So what kind of skill do you think you need to start focusing on? Definitely the communication skill, isn't it? And you should also be able to improve the active listening skills, team problem solving skills, negotiating skill, okay, advocating and asserting values as well within the team. And you should be able to decide the some great decision. So something is happening and okay, you know, and then you this is the decision. This decision can help you to move further in the company. Okay. Yep. Okay. So talking about the benchmarking. So we did we did talk about benchmarking. We did talk about yes. Okay. So develop a communication strategies. Look, you want to improve something in your company, which is a continuous improvement, which is it could be your team building culture, which could be leadership skill, which could be public speaking skill. Those skills you need to develop this communication strategies. Okay, for example, you should consider purpose and objectives of your company. What is the mission of your company, where you want to be after 4 years or after 5 years or after 10 years. So who are your audiences, including your stakeholders, power and influences, what are the messages are you going to tell them, and which media or medium will you be using to communicate. So one of the most important tasks in implementing continuous improvement across an organization is developing a communication strategies. To help a communication strategy, you will need to determine your communication objectives and promotional activities and your audience characteristics and needs. Your communication strategy should also set out how you plan to craft and customize your message to meet those needs and use the appropriate media to achieve your communication objectives. You will also need to consider other important aspects of planning, such as resources and budgets, as well as who will be responsible for delivering or managing communication. Okay, so for example, you are going to communicate about the new latest technology that you're thinking of improving in your company. So you need to deliver a message to your CEO, okay? So you should be adjusting your language. So the message you are giving or delivering to the CEO and the message you are delivering to the staff members, it could be different. So the media could be different as well, okay? So you need to adjust the vocabularies, you need to adjust the way of, and then message, and making sure that they understand your language. Approaches to meeting sustainability objectives. So life cycle analysis. So this is something that we need to understand. If you are thinking of improving, you need to understand how these strategies works. Lean manufacturing, closed loop product design, iOS standard. Okay, so we have a iOS standard in Australia, yes, of course, in New Zealand. So these are the standards must followed by the people, okay, whoever are in the system. So Peter Wells in Business Models for Sustainability identifies seven principles of sustainable business models. Okay, so what are they? So resource efficiency, social relevance, localization and engagement, longevity, ethical sourcing, work enrichment. Following the above principles allows organizations to factor sustainability into the development of overall business models and strategies. So it is useful to point out that the organization do not necessarily value sustainability at the expense of financial gain. Integrating sustainability principles into business models may impact, in fact, general sustainable values for environmentally and socially engaged customers and investors. So it is easy to see how implementing continuous improvement methods can achieve a range of sustainability related sources of increased values, including increased revenue or lower wastage cost. So isn't that great? That, yeah, so those life cycle analysis will help you to actually, for example, this life cycle analysis will help you to see something or use the product which can last longer. Okay, you need to identify how lean manufacturing can help you to develop your overall strategies within the team. And those are the tools. These are the continuous improvement tools that you will be using to maintain those sustainability objectives of your company as well. So develop training. So look, if you want to change something within a company, you have to let people know that this is what I'm going to do, or this is, we are planning to change some continuous improvement within the system, and you need to let everyone know those. As we already spoke about the communication skill, communication channel, how we should be communicating to the people. So you need to develop a training, coaching, and mentoring program as well. So ensuring people have the capability to participate in continuous improvement includes training, coaching, including team coaching, mentoring, providing ongoing feedback on performances. So ensures that, to ensure individuals and the organizations as a whole has the capability to effect continuous improvement changes, you will need to integrate your approach to continuous improvement with performance management processes. So definitely you need to measure the performances of your whole process. Okay, performance must be measured. It should be evaluated, whether it is maintained or not, what kind of quality are they providing. So this means putting in place processes for integrating continuous improvement with performance management. Okay, in effect, this means facilitating individual and team goal setting and performance planning processes, and then ensuring the development of workforce capability or capacity through the provision of the required training, mentoring, and ongoing coaching required to keep individual and team performance aligned to continuous improvement objectives. So what about the objectives do you have in terms of the continuous improvement? Make sure that they are maintained, they are monitored regularly. Okay. Okay. So here we go, the knowledge management. So you should look, there are so many. So how can you improve your system? How can you improve your overall performance of your employees, and then everything, even the whole system of the company? How can you continuously improve? Through the knowledge, isn't it? Yeah, so you should manage, you should be able to manage your knowledge. So those knowledge could be hard knowledges and then soft knowledges. So hard knowledge could be especially within the team, how good you are in the leadership, how good you are in role model. Are you modeling? I mean, are you the team person or team member who is leading by example? Capture, modify role, yeah, store model, explicit and verbal, procedure, other written documents, traditional technologies of documents management, which is databases, document management system. And the soft knowledges could be social group, group, team, community of practice model, non-verbal, which is tacit, practice-based, and then also situated and contextual, time-bound. Okay, so these are some type of soft knowledge which is very important, that need to be managed as well, okay, within the team. And the newer social networking technologies, which is part of the soft knowledge, which could include document sharing, work-based social platforms, just-in-time resource planning, or ordering system. Okay, so in order to implement continuous improvement, you will need to develop systems to manage information flow. So information, which is, there should be a system to flow those information within your team. Okay, you will need to ensure that people who have the right information at the right time to create maximum value at whatever points in the process of customer and then stakeholders value creations, they need responsible. Okay, they need responsible for it. They need to be responsible for those, to avoid overwhelming employees, and in conformity to lean principles. For example, it may also be important to ensure employees have just the right amount of information at the time they need it. After all, people's memories may be taxed by too much information, in the same way as a worker's capacity to function is impeded by holding more. I mean, if you have more information, so brain cannot carry all this information. Okay, holding more parts in the hand than necessary to perform as assembly line task. To manage knowledge, you will need to manage hard and soft forms of knowledge, as well as supporting technologies and frameworks. Okay, so I hope that good information about those hard knowledge and soft knowledge. Okay, so another little bit of more information about the hard knowledge. Are you team leader? Okay, those are the people skill is the hard knowledge. Soft skill is something they are very good at. Microsoft, they are very good at IT, expert in Excel, data sheet, spreadsheet, excellent in the computer skill, IT skill, and the networking skill. Those are the soft skills that you should be able to maintain within the team if you want to continuously improve within your organization. So I also talk about so most of the tools, like one last topic on this last description in this topic, I would like to give some tools for continuous improvement. Okay, there are two sorts of measurement which are very necessary if you want to increase or impact on customer satisfaction. Is the process measures, which are internal to an organization. Okay, and access the importance of the aspects of process which produce the most important outcomes for the customer. For example, time taken to produce a specified number of units. And the second one is outcome measures, are the externally obtained from customers to assess the outcomes of a process. For example, the number of customer complaint. Okay, so how many complaints have you been receiving and how many customers have you been serving within the certain period of time. So those are the tools for continuous improvement. There are three basic categories of quality that may be chosen for measurement, for the continuous measurement. Okay, the number one is time, number two is accuracy, and number three is satisfaction. So I hope you got some value out of this presentation, and here is the last. So at the end of this presentation, we already talked about the purpose, right? You should now be able to complete the self-paced activities in section 1 of your student workbook. And now I will see you in the next webinar. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I hope you got some good information from this topic. See you in next webinar. Bye.